Chapter 1. The day she handed me the papers. I pushed the door open with my shoulder because my hands are full of roses. Red ones. Her favorite. Evelyn? Baby, happy anniversary. She's on the couch. Victor's arm is around her waist like it belongs there. They both look up at me. Evelyn doesn't even stand. She just lifts one perfectly shaped eyebrow. Close the door, Liam. You're letting the cold in. I shut it behind me. The roses feel stupid now. I got off work early. Thought we could. Put those in water later. She cuts in. We need to talk. Victor smirks, fingers playing with the ends of her hair. I hate how comfortable he looks in my house. Evelyn reaches for the black folder on the coffee table and slides it toward me. Divorce papers. Sign them. The words hit harder than any slap. I stare at the folder like it might bite me. 5 years today. 5 years and you do this on our anniversary. She sighs bored. Exactly. 5 years was enough. Sign. My legs feel weak. I sit down across from them. Victor leans back, elbows on his knees. Come a minute. Don't make it weird. I ignore him and look only at her. Do you even love me a little anymore? She laughs. Short, sharp, cruel. Liam, I stopped loving you the day you quit your job to support my dreams. You became furniture. My throat burns. I did it for us. There is no us, Victor says, grinning. There's her and there's me. You're just the help now. Evelyn taps the pen on the papers. Sign, and I'll be generous. There's a condition. I pick up the pen with shaking fingers. What condition? You stay in this house for 1 more year. Exact same address. You keep cooking, cleaning, paying the bills I tell you to pay. You live here while Victor and I live here. I want you to watch. My stomach drops. Watch what? How happy I am without you, she says, eyes shining like this is the best part. Every day. Every night. You'll see what real love looks like. Then, after 365 days, you can crawl away with whatever pride you have left. Victor chuckles. Think of it as free therapy, buddy. I stare at her beautiful, cold face. You want me to watch you sleep with him? In our bed. Our bed. She smiles. I had it replaced last month. You've been sleeping on his side for weeks and never noticed. The room spins. I think I'm going to throw up. Sign, she says again, softer, almost sweet. Or I'll make sure you leave with nothing. Not even the clothes on your back. Your choice. My hand moves without permission. I scratch my name on every page she points to. The pen feels like it weighs 100 pounds. When I'm done, she takes the papers, kisses the top of my head like I'm a dog, and hands them to Victor. File these tomorrow, babe. Victor tucks them under his arm and pulls her closer. Anything for you. She looks back at me. Guest room is made up. Dinner at 7. Victor likes his steak medium rare. I stand there holding dead roses while they start kissing, loud and wet, like I'm already gone. I walk to the guest room on legs that don't feel like mine. I close the door, lean against it. From the living room I hear her moan his name. I slide down the door until I'm sitting on the floor, roses crushed against my chest, and for the first time in 5 years I cry without trying to hide the sound. They don't even bother to turn the volume down. Chapter 2. Living in my own grave. I woke up to Evelyn's voice slicing through the hallway. Coffee. But 2 sugars. And don't burn the toast again, Liam. I dragged myself out of the guest room bed. My back hurt from the thin mattress. I walked into the kitchen in the same gray sweatpants I'd worn for 3 days. Victor was already sitting at the island, legs spread wide like he owned the place. He didn't even look up from his phone. Morning, houseboy, he said. Make it quick. We have a 9 o'clock meeting. I poured the coffee. My hand shook a little. Some spilled on the counter. Evelyn clicked her heels across the marble. Clean that. Now. I grabbed a towel. Victor laughed. Look at him jump. Good dog. I wanted to throw the hot coffee in his face. Instead I wiped the counter and said nothing. Evelyn leaned over and kissed him, long and loud, right in front of me. Her lipstick smeared on his mouth. She pulled away and looked at me. Eggs Benedict. 10 minutes. Go. They left for work. The door slammed. I stood there holding the towel until my fingers went white. Aunt Lynn appeared from the pantry, small and quiet. "You didn't eat dinner again," she whispered. She pushed a warm bun into my hand. "Eat before she sees." "Thank you," I mumbled. My voice sounded dead. She touched my cheek. "Don't let her kill your soul, child. 1 year only. You remember that?" I nodded, but the words felt far away. That night they came home late. I heard the front door, high heels, laughter, the wet sound of kissing. I was folding laundry in the living room when they walked in. Victor had his hand under Evelyn's dress. She didn't even push it away when she saw me. "Still awake, houseboy?" Victor grinned. "Good. Bring us wine. The red one from Napa." I went to the kitchen. My legs moved without me telling them to. When I came back with the bottle and 2 glasses, they were on the couch. Evelyn was straddling him, blouse half open. She looked over her shoulder at me. "Pour." I poured. Victor took his glass without looking at me. "You can watch if you want. Might learn something." Evelyn laughed. He wouldn't know what to do with it. I stood there holding the bottle until my arms shook. "Go to bed, Liam," she said, still moving on Victor's lap. "We're busy." I walked to the guest room, closed the door, sat on the floor. I pulled out the small black notebook I hid under the mattress. I wrote, "Day 47. They did it on the couch while I held the wine. I hate them. I hate myself more for staying." The next morning Victor cornered me in the hallway. "Listen, houseboy," he said, voice low. "I'm moving a few things in this weekend. Clear out half the master closet. Evelyn's orders." I stared at the floor. "That's my closet." He grabbed my chin, forced me to look at him. "Was your closet? Past tense. Understand?" I swallowed. "Yes." He patted my cheek hard. "Good boy." That afternoon Evelyn called me into her home office. She didn't look up from her laptop. "Company driver quit. You'll drive me from now on." "I don't have a license anymore," I said. "You made me sell the car, remember?" She finally looked at me. "Then get it back." "I don't care how. Just be ready at 7 every morning." I turned to leave. "Liam." I stopped. She smiled cold. "Don't forget to iron Victor's shirts. He likes them crisp." I whispered, "Okay." Night again. They were loud upstairs. The headboard banged against the wall for an hour. I sat on the guest room floor with my notebook. Day 52. I ironed his shirts today. They smelled like her perfume. I wanted to burn them. I folded them instead. Aunt Lynn knocked softly. She slipped inside and closed the door. She sat beside me and took my hand. "You're disappearing, Liam. I see it in your eyes." I stared at the wall. "I'm already gone." She pressed something into my palm, a small key. "Basement storage," she whispered. "There's a mini fridge and a kettle. Hide there when it gets too loud. I'll bring food." I closed my fingers around the key. My throat hurt. "Thank you," I croaked. She hugged me. She smelled like soap and safety. When she left, I wrote one last line before I turned off the light. I have 313 days left. I count them like heartbeats. Some nights I hope they stop. Chapter 3. The message that broke me completely. I'm wiping the kitchen counter at 2 a.m. when I see Evelyn's iPad glowing on the sofa. She never forgets to lock it. Never. My hand shakes as I touch the screen. The Messages app is open. "Victor, 1 year left, babe. Then he's gone and the house is ours." Evelyn, "He already signed. He's too pathetic to fight." Victor, "Still can't believe you kept him around after the miscarriage." Evelyn, "I needed someone to blame when I flushed it. He cried so pretty. My lungs forget how to work." I scroll up. 2 years of messages. Victor, "You sure you're not showing yet?" Evelyn, "Took care of it this morning. Pills worked fast. Liam thinks it was stress." Victor, "Good girl. Come celebrate tonight." Evelyn, "Give me an hour. I'll tell him I'm working late again." The iPad slips from my fingers and clatters on the marble. The sound is too loud. Footsteps upstairs. Victor laughs. The bed creaks. I run to the guest bathroom and lock the door. I open the medicine cabinet. Sleeping pills, painkillers, Evelyn's anxiety meds, rows of little white lies. I line them on the counter like soldiers. I unscrew the first bottle. A soft knock. Young master? Aunt Lynn's voice, barely a whisper. I heard something fall. Go away, I croak. The knob turns anyway. She has a spare key. She always has a spare key. She sees the pills. Her eyes go wide. No. No, child. I try to push her out, but my arms are jelly. She killed our baby, Aunt Lynn. She killed it and laughed about it. Aunt Lynn grabs my face with both hands. Listen to me. You swallow one of those and she wins forever. You hear me? She wins. I sink to the cold tiles. The sobs come out silent because I can't let them hear me break. Aunt Lynn sits beside me, old knees cracking. She pulls my head to her shoulder like I'm 5 years old again. They're loud tonight, I whisper. They're always loud. I know, baby. I know. She said I cried pretty. Aunt Lynn's arms tighten. You are going to cry all you need tonight. But tomorrow you stop giving them your tears. Tomorrow we start taking everything back. I don't believe her yet. My chest feels like it's caving in. She strokes my hair. How long since you ate? I don't remember. She stands, pulls me up. Come. I made congee. You will eat 2 bowls, then you will sleep in my room. They never come to the servant's wing. I let her lead me like a ghost. In her tiny room she locks the door and pushes the dresser in front of it. She spoons congee into my mouth while I stare at nothing. Halfway through the bowl I start shaking again. She wanted me to watch her be happy, I say, voice cracking. She wanted me to watch after she murdered our child. Aunt Lynn sets the bowl down and cups my face again. Then we give her a show she'll never forget. But not tonight. Tonight you breathe. I fall asleep on her narrow bed with her hand in mine. For the first time in months, the house is quiet. I dream of tiny white pills turning into red petals that choke Evelyn while she sleeps. When I wake up, the rage is still there, but it's cold now. Ready. Chapter 4. Ryan comes back. The rain hammered the windows like it wanted to break in. I was scrubbing the kitchen counter for the 3rd time when the doorbell rang. Evelyn and Victor were upstairs, laughing loud enough to make sure I heard every second of it. I dried my hands and walked to the door, expecting another delivery guy. I opened it. A man stood there soaked to the bone, black hair stuck to his forehead, rain dripping from his leather jacket. He looked at me for 2 full seconds before he spoke. Liam. My heart forgot how to beat. Ryan. He grinned the same crooked grin from 10 years ago. Holy hell, man. You look like death warmed over. I couldn't move. Who? You disappeared. Everyone said you were dead. Almost dead counts, he said, stepping inside without asking. Water pooled around his boots. Close the door. We need to talk. I shut it. My voice cracked. Where have you been? Prison, mostly. Long story. Not tonight. He looked around the huge hallway like he was pricing it. This the palace the Ice Queen bought with your balls? I flinched. Don't. From the top of the stairs came Evelyn's voice, sharp as glass. Who's at the door, Liam? Ryan's eyes turned cold. That her? Yeah. Let her come down. Evelyn appeared in a silk robe, Victor right behind her with a glass of wine. She stared at Ryan like he was dirt on her floor. Who are you? Ryan Park. Liam's friend. The one you never met because you didn't like his bank account. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Nice to finally meet the woman who keeps my best friend as a dog. Victor laughed. Watch your mouth. Ryan ignored him and looked only at me. Pack a bag. You're leaving tonight. I swallowed. I can't. Can't or won't. He stepped closer. Look at me, Liam. Really look. When's the last time you slept? When's the last time you smiled without forcing it? Evelyn cut in. He stays. He signed papers. 1 year. House rules. Ryan turned to her slowly. I read those papers online. They're not legally binding yet. He can walk any second. He won't, she said, folding her arms. He's nothing without me. Ryan laughed once, short and mean. That's where you're wrong. He faced me again. You stay here, you die in this house. I'm not watching my brother rot because some rich bitch gets off on humiliation. Victor stepped forward. Get out before I call security. Ryan didn't even glance at him. Call them. I'll wait. Then, softer, to me, remember sophomore year? You dragged me out of that car wreck. Car was on fire, Liam. You burned your hands pulling me free. I owe you my life. Let me return the favor. My throat closed. I whispered, if I leave, she'll destroy me. The company, my name, everything. Ryan's eyes went dark, almost black. Then we destroy her first. Evelyn's voice went high. You're threatening me in my own house? Not a threat, Ryan said calmly. A promise. You hurt him again, I hurt you worse. Legally, illegally, doesn't matter to me anymore. Victor put his glass down. You have no idea who you're talking to. Ryan finally looked at him. Victor Hahn. Daddy bought your VP seat after you tanked 3 startups. I know exactly who you are. The air went dead quiet except for the rain. I found my voice. Ryan, I'm scared. He put both hands on my shoulders, grip firm, warm, alive. But fear means you're still in there. Come with me. Tonight. We'll figure the rest out tomorrow. I looked at Evelyn. She was pale, lips tight. For the first time in a year, I felt something other than pain. I looked back at Ryan. Give me 10 minutes. He smiled, real this time. I'll wait in the car. Engine running. As his footsteps faded, Evelyn hissed, if you walk out that door, you'll regret it. I met her eyes. I already regret the last 5 years. One more night won't change that. I turned and headed for the stairs. The rain kept falling, but for the first time, it sounded like freedom. Chapter 5. The secret in father-in-law's room. The intercom buzzes while I'm scrubbing the kitchen floor on my knees. Liam. Come upstairs. Now. Chairman Zhao's voice is thin, like paper tearing. I wipe my hands on the apron Evelyn makes me wear and climb the back stairs so Victor and Evelyn won't see me. The hallway smells of medicine and old books. I knock once. Come in, he rasps. I slip inside. The room is dark except for the orange glow of the heart monitor. Chairman Zhao looks smaller than last week, swallowed by pillows. Close the door, he says. I do. He pats the bed with a shaking hand. Seat. I don't have much breath left. E-seat. The mattress dips under my weight. He studies my face for a long time. You lost weight. I'm fine, father. Don't lie to an old man. He coughs, winces. I heard them last night. Laughing. Calling you the maid. My own daughter. My throat burns. I look at the floor. He reaches under the blanket and pulls out a small black USB drive taped to a folded handkerchief. He presses it into my palm. What is this? Everything, he whispers. Bank records. Emails. Recordings. The shares she forged my signature on 2 years ago when I was in coma. The money she moved to Victor's offshore accounts. Proof Victor paid off the auditors. All of it. I stare at the tiny drive. It feels heavier than gold. Why give this to me? Because I'm dying, and I refuse to let my company become their playground. His eyes harden. And because you're the only one she underestimates. She thinks you're broken. But let her keep thinking that. I close my fingers around it. If she finds this, she won't. You're invisible to her now, remember? A weak smile. Hide it where her pride won't let her look. I nod slowly. He grabs my wrist suddenly, surprisingly strong. Listen carefully, Liam. I loved my daughter. I spoiled her. This is my punishment. Don't make my mistake, don't forgive too much. When the time comes, use it. All of it. Promise me. I promise. His grip loosens. One more thing. He reaches to the nightstand, picks up a yellowed photo, me and him fishing 3 years ago, both of us laughing. He presses it into my hand with the drive. Remember who you were before she convinced you you were nothing. My eyes sting. Thank you, father. Go. Before they notice you're gone. I lean down and kiss his forehead like I used to when he taught me how to tie a tie. His skin is cold. I'm proud of you, son, he murmurs. I leave the room quietly. My heart is pounding so hard I'm sure the monitor will scream. Downstairs, Evelyn's voice drifts from the living room. Where's the houseboy? I need my coffee. I walk past them without a word, straight to the laundry room. I pull out my old work boots, the ones I wore when I still had a job, the ones she told me to throw away because they're embarrassing. I slide the USB and the photo into a tear in the lining, deep under the insole. Then I lace the boots tight and hide them behind winter coats she never touches. I stare at my reflection in the dark window. For the first time in months, I don't look away. Enjoy your coffee, darling, I whisper to the empty room. It's going to start tasting very bitter soon. Chapter 6. The night I stopped being invisible. The ballroom lights hurt my eyes. Crystal chandeliers, gold banners, too many smiles. I carried a silver tray of champagne flutes, wearing the same black suit I got married in, now shiny at the elbows because Evelyn refused to buy me anything new. Move faster, Liam, Evelyn hissed as she floated past in a group of investors. Her red dress hugged every curve, diamonds flashing at her throat. Victor's hand rested on the small of her back like it belonged there. I kept circling. Every time I offered a glass, someone smirked. Isn't he the husband? A woman in pearls whispered, loud enough for me to hear. Ex-husband, technically, her friend answered. She keeps him around for the optics. Poor thing. I almost laughed. Poor thing. Victor waved me over like I was a waiter he could tip later. Hey, houseboy, champagne. Now. I walked straight to him. My hands didn't even shake anymore. He took a flute without looking at me. Make sure the good stuff keeps coming. Big clients tonight. Yes, sir, I said soft. Evelyn leaned in, lips brushing his ear. Don't waste breath on him, babe. I turned to leave. My foot caught the edge of Victor's polished shoe. The tray tilted. Red wine poured down his white tuxedo shirt like blood. Gasps all around. Victor jumped back. You clumsy piece of... I'm so sorry, I said, voice flat. Let me clean that. I reached for a napkin. He slapped my hand away. Evelyn's face went white, then red. She grabbed my wrist hard enough to bruise. Apologize properly. I looked at her fingers digging into my skin. 9 months of this. 9 months of bites, slaps, orders. Something hot crawled up my throat. I pulled my arm free. I said I'm sorry. Victor laughed me. Look at him trying to grow a spine. Evelyn stepped closer, voice low and poisonous. You're embarrassing me. Go to the kitchen and stay there until I say. Everyone was watching now. Phones out. Recording. I smiled. I hadn't smiled in so long my face felt strange. No, I said. The word hung in the air like smoke. Evelyn blinked. What did you just say? I said no. I raised my voice so the whole ballroom could hear. I'm tired, Evelyn. Tired of carrying trays. Tired of watching you kiss him in my house. Tired of pretending I'm already dead. Victor stepped forward. Know your place. My place. I laughed sharp. My place was next to my wife. You stole it. Both of you. Evelyn's mouth opened, closed. For the first time in a year, she had no words. I looked around at the crowd, board members, reporters, old college friends who used to come to our wedding. All staring. I leaned in so only Evelyn and Victor could hear, but loud enough the microphones caught it anyway. 1 year is almost up, darling, I said, smiling with all my teeth. You wanted me to watch you be happy. I watched. Now enjoy the rest of the show. I dropped the empty tray. It hit the marble floor with a crash that echoed like a gunshot. Silence. Perfect, delicious silence. Then whispers exploded everywhere. I turned and walked through the crowd. People parted like I was someone dangerous. Maybe I was. Behind me, Evelyn screamed my name, voice cracking. Liam, get back here. I didn't stop. At the exit, Aunt Lynn stood waiting with my coat. Her eyes were wet, but she was smiling. You okay, child? She whispered. I took the coat. My hands were steady now. Never better, I said. And I walked out into the night, the sound of Evelyn's panic chasing me like music. Chapter 7. Karma starts whispering. I'm in the kitchen making coffee when Evelyn storms in, phone glued to her ear, voice sharp enough to cut glass. Fix it. I don't care how, just fix it. She slams the phone on the counter and glares at me like I'm the reason the world is burning. Do you know what your useless existence is costing me today? I keep stirring sugar I don't even drink. Good morning to you too. She doesn't hear me. She never does anymore. The stock dropped 9% before the market even opened. Someone leaked Victor's Singapore contracts to the board. I lift my cup, hiding my mouth. That's terrible. Victor appears behind her, tie loose, eyes bloodshot. It's not just terrible, it's war. Someone's trying to bury me. Evelyn spins on him. You told me those shell companies couldn't be traced. They can't, he snaps. Unless someone had direct access to. Both of them look at me at the same time. I blink back, innocent. What? I don't even know what a shell company is. Evelyn's lip curls. Don't play dumb. You've been skulking around the house like a ghost. I smile small. You wanted a ghost. You got one. She steps closer, perfume and rage. If I find out you had anything... You'll what? I ask softly. Make me watch you kiss him again? Already did that. 10 out of 10, very educational. Victor grabs her arm. Leave the loser. We have bigger problems. They leave me standing there, heart hammering so loud I'm scared they'll hear it. That night Ryan comes over after Evelyn and Victor go to some emergency board dinner. He slips in through the back door like we're teenagers again. He drops a burner phone on the table. 3 directors already got the first file this morning. Tomorrow the auditors get the second. I stare at the phone. You sure it can't come back to us? Relax. I routed it through 7 countries. Even the CIA would give up. He grins. How's it feel watching her sweat? Like breathing for the first time in a year. He opens his laptop. Now the money. You still have the offshore account Chairman Zhao set up for you before the wedding. Yeah. She never knew about it. Good. Starting tonight, we move her private slush fund into it, 10 grand at a time. Slow enough she won't notice until it's gone. I swallow. That's a lot of money. It's your money, Liam. She stole the company with it. We're just stealing it back. The door creaks. We both freeze. Sophia steps in, still in her nurse scrubs, hair in a messy bun. She looks at the laptop, the burner phone, then at me. You okay? She asks quietly. I didn't even hear her come in. Ryan smirks and stands. I'll be outside. 5 minutes. He leaves us alone. Sophia walks straight to me and takes my shaking hands. You're ice cold. I'm fine. You're not. She pulls me down to sit on the kitchen floor, back against the cabinets, just like the night I almost swallowed the pills. She laces her fingers through mine. Talk or don't talk. Just breathe with me. I close my eyes. Her thumb strokes my knuckles, slow and steady. I leaked the files today, I whisper. I know. She's going to lose everything. Sophia leans her head on my shoulder. And you? What do you lose? I think about it. Nothing left to lose. She's quiet for a long time. Then, when my brother told me what she did to you, I wanted to burn her world down myself. But seeing you now, her voice cracks. I just want you to live, Liam. A tear slides down my face. I don't wipe it away. Upstairs, I hear Evelyn's heels stomping. She's home early, screaming Victor's name. Sophia stands first, pulls me up. Whatever happens tomorrow, you're not alone anymore. She kisses my cheek soft, quick, like a promise and leaves through the back. I wipe my face, pick up the burner phone, and text the next director. File 2 incoming. Then I walk upstairs, calm as death, while Evelyn's voice cracks the walls with panic. Karma isn't loud. It just whispers. And tonight, the whole house is finally listening. Chapter 8. The truth about our baby. I sat on the bench behind the hospital, hood up, rain dripping off my lashes. My phone buzzed once. Unknown number, Allie in 5 minutes. Come alone. I almost didn't go. I was tired of secrets. But my feet moved anyway. Dr. Zhang was already there, umbrella shaking in his thin hands. He looked 10 years older than last month. Liam, he whispered, voice cracking. I can't sleep anymore. Then talk fast, I said. My throat felt lined with sand. He glanced over his shoulder. 3 years ago. The night you brought Mrs. Zhao in bleeding. You remember? How could I forget? I had carried Evelyn in my arms, screaming for help while she cried that the baby was gone. I remember every second. He swallowed hard. It wasn't a miscarriage. Not a natural one. The world tilted. What are you saying? She came to me 2 days earlier. Alone. Asked for mifepristone and misoprostol. Said the timing was wrong, the baby would ruin her body, her career, everything she worked for. Each word hit like a hammer on glass. She killed our child? She begged me to keep it quiet. Threatened my license, my family. I was weak. I wrote the prescription. His voice broke. I logged it under a false name, but I kept the records. I thought one day I'd need forgiveness. I couldn't breathe. Show me. He pulled out his phone with shaking fingers, opened a scanned file. There it was, Evelyn's signature, the date, the dosage. My knees buckled. She told me that night in there, he went on, tears mixing with rain, she told me, make sure he believes it just happened. I can't have him looking at me like I'm a monster. I laughed, a horrible sound. But she is. I'm sorry, Liam. I've been a coward for 3 years. When I heard what she's doing to you now, he pressed a USB into my palm. Everything is on here. Real reports, real dates. Use it or burn me with it. I don't care anymore. I stared at the tiny drive. It weighed more than the world. Why tell me now? Because you're already dead inside. I see it in your eyes. I helped put that look there. Let me at least give you a reason to live. I closed my fist around the drive until it hurt. Does she know you kept copies? No. She thinks I'm still scared of her. Good. My voice didn't sound like mine anymore. Keep being scared. Until I say otherwise. He nodded, crying openly now. Whatever you do. I deserve it. I turned to leave. He called after me, soft and broken. Liam, was it a boy or girl? I stopped. The question stabbed deeper than anything else tonight. I don't know, I said. She never let me mourn long enough to ask. I walked into the rain. Halfway down the alley my stomach turned inside out. I dropped to my knees and vomited until there was nothing left but pain. When I stood up, the tears wouldn't come anymore. Something inside me had finally frozen solid. I wiped my mouth and looked at the city lights blurring through the storm. Our baby never had a chance to breathe because Evelyn Zhao didn't want stretch marks. I slid the USB into my pocket, right next to my heart. From this second on, revenge wasn't a choice. It was oxygen. I breathed it in deep and cold and started walking home. Chapter 9. The Last Dinner. I stood at the stove stirring the truffle risotto, the same dish I made the night Evelyn got promoted to so. Exactly 1 year ago today she handed me the divorce papers. I tasted the sauce, added a pinch more salt, and smiled at how normal my hands looked while my heart beat like a war drum. The doorbell rang twice, Victor's impatient signal. Open the door, Liam, Evelyn called from the dining room, her voice light, almost playful. Our guest is here. I wiped my hands and opened it. Victor strolled in wearing a $3,000 suit and the same smug grin he'd worn for 12 months straight. Smells good, houseboy, he said, clapping my shoulder hard enough to hurt. Better than last time. You finally learned something useful. I didn't answer. I just took his coat and hung it up. Evelyn appeared in a red silk dress, diamonds flashing at her throat. She kissed Victor right in front of me, slow and loud. 1 year anniversary of your freedom, babe, Victor laughed, squeezing her waist. And the poor guy still cooks for us. Pathetic. Sit, I said quietly. Food's ready. They took their usual seats at the long glass table, her at the head, him on her right, me nowhere. I brought the plates, poured the wine, then stood behind my old chair like a waiter. Evelyn raised an eyebrow. You're not eating with us? I already ate, I lied. Tonight is special for you too. I just want you to enjoy it. Victor snorted. Damn right it's special. After tomorrow's board vote, the company is ours for good. Your daddy won't be around much longer to block us, Evie. Evelyn smiled and lifted her glass. To new beginnings. They clinked. I reached into my pocket, pulled out the small black USB, and set it in the middle of the table. Victor frowned. What's that? Dessert, I said. Evelyn rolled her eyes. Liam, we're eating. Take your little toy in. I picked up the remote and pressed play. The 80-inch screen on the wall lit up. First came Victor's voice, loud and clear, recorded 3 months ago. Once the old man dies, we push the merger through. I already paid off 2 board members. Evelyn signs, we cash out $200 million, then we blame the failure on her sick father. Perfect scapegoat. Victor's face went white. How the hell? Next clip. Evelyn on the phone last year. The pregnancy is bad timing. I'm not ruining my body for a baby that will just hold me back. Get me the pills, Mia. Quietly. My own voice from 6 months ago, broken and begging in the hallway. Evie, please, it was our child. Her cold reply, it was a mistake I fixed. Stop crying or leave. Evelyn dropped her fork. It clattered like a gunshot. Another file opened, scanned documents, her father's signature forged again and again, transferring shares to shell companies in Victor's name. Victor shoved his chair back. This is illegal. You hacked. 2 security guards in suits stepped in from the hallway. Ryan had timed it perfectly. Mr. Hahn, one guard said, the board requests your presence immediately. Fraud division is waiting downtown. Victor tried to bolt. They caught him by the arms. He screamed, Evelyn, call your lawyers. She couldn't speak. She just stared at the screen where the last recording played, her laughing with Mia 2 weeks ago. Liam still thinks I might forgive him one day. God, the things I made him watch. Best punishment ever. I stepped forward and finally sat down in my old chair. Evelyn's lips trembled. Liam, turn it off. Please. We can talk. Talk. My voice was calm, almost gentle. For a year you talked. You told me I was nothing. You told me to watch. So I watched. I listened. I learned. Tears ran down her face, ruining her makeup. I was angry. I was scared. The company, the pressure. You killed our baby because it was inconvenient, I said. The words didn't even shake. Then you made me live in the same house while you slept with him. Every night. On our bed. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'll give you anything. Money, shares, whatever you want. I want the last year back, I said. I want my child breathing. Can you give me that? She had no answer. Victor was still struggling with the guards. You planned this whole thing, you spineless? I looked at him and smiled for the first time in 12 months. Enjoy prison, houseboy. The guards dragged him out. His curses echoed down the hall. Evelyn slid off her chair and knelt in front of me, silk dress pooling on the floor. Please, mercy? I stood up. You wanted me to watch you be happy for 1 year, I said. I did. Now watch me be happy for the rest of my life. I walked past her without looking back. At the door I paused. Oh, and Evelyn? I said softly. Dinner's cold. You should reheat it yourself from now on. I stepped into the night. The door clicked shut behind me, and her sobs finally started. Loud, broken, too late. Chapter 10, The Quiet After the Storm. Chapter 10, The Quiet After the Storm. The red and blue lights bounce off the marble walls as 2 officers drag Victor out the front door. Get your hands off me. Do you know who I am? He shouts. One cop yanks the cuffs tighter. You're the guy going to jail, Mr. Hahn. Keep walking. I stand on the staircase, arms folded arms, watching. Victor sees me and spits. This isn't over, Liam. I smile for the first time in months. Yes, Victor. It is. The door slams. Silence falls like snow. Footsteps behind me. Evelyn. Her heels click slower than usual, like she's scared the floor will break. Liam, her voice cracks. Please. Talk to me. I turn. She's still wearing the red dress from dinner, but the diamonds are gone, confiscated as evidence. I say nothing. She drops to her knees right there in the foyer, silk tearing on the tiles. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I'll give you anything, half the company, the house, everything. Just don't leave me like this. I crouch so we're eye level. You already gave me everything, Evelyn. A year of your happiness on display. I paid the price. Now it's my turn. Tears run down her cheeks, ruining the makeup she spent an hour perfecting for Victor. I loved you once. No, I say softly. You loved what I let you do to me. Aunt Lynn appears with a small suitcase. My things, packed weeks ago. She sets it beside me without a word, squeezes my shoulder, and walks away. Evelyn grabs my sleeve. At least hate me. For something. I look at her fingers on my coat. I don't hate you anymore. Hate takes energy. I'm all out. I pull free. Outside, Sophia waits under the porch light, umbrella in one hand, my coat in the other. She smiles gently. Ready? More than ready. We walk down the steps. Evelyn's voice chases us, raw and broken. Liam, please. I'm pregnant. I stop. The rain keeps falling. I turn back. Is it mine? She hesitates half a second, long enough. I laugh once, short and empty. Tell Victor congratulations when he makes bail. Sophia opens the car door for me. I slide in without looking back. The driver is Ryan. He meets my eyes in the mirror. Hospital next. Chairman Zhao wants to see you before. I know, I say. Drive. 30 minutes later, I'm sitting beside the old man's bed. Machines beep slow and steady. He grips my hand with paper-thin fingers. You kept your promise, he rasps. Company's yours now. Board signed this morning. I didn't do it for the company. He smiles, eyes wet. I know. Do it for you now. Live loud, son. I nod. The heart monitor flatlines an hour after I leave. Peaceful. Like he waited for me. 2 weeks later I'm in the new office. My office, signing the last papers that strip Evelyn of every share. My new assistant knocks. Mrs. Zhao is here. Again. Send her in. Evelyn walks in wearing the same gray coat she wore the day we met. No makeup. Hair in a messy bun. She places a single envelope on the desk. Divorce papers. Unsigned by me until now. I open it. Her signature shakes across the line. I don't look up. Anything else? She whispers, I'm leaving the country. There's nothing left for me here. Good, I say. She lingers. Will you ever forgive me? I finally meet her eyes. I already did. Forgave you the day I stopped matching. She nods once, turns, and walks out. The door clicks shut. That night Sophia cooks in the little apartment we rented downtown. She slides a plate in front of me. You're still too thin. I catch her hand. Marry me. She laughs, startled. You're supposed to ask on one knee with a ring, Liam. I'll do that tomorrow. Tonight I just need to know you'll say yes. She leans down, kisses my forehead. Just 1,000 times yes. I sleep without nightmares for the first time in 2 years. Some mornings I still wake up expecting to hear Evelyn's heels in the hallway. Then I feel Sophia's arm across my chest, hear Ryan laughing in the kitchen about some stupid meme, and I remember. I watched her be happy for exactly 1 year. Now I get the rest of my life. And I never look back.